Good evening. I am John Harder with another uh, live broadcast for Free Energy and TBC. Now, tonight's broadcast, I have entitled Gratitude May Be One of the Most Powerful Positive Feelings. You know, we have this concept that when there is something that is not good, that we need to fight it. We need to generate negative energy to overcome it. And the truth is actually very, very different than that. You see, the way you feel about the planet, the way you feel about nature, the way you feel about creation, the way you feel about your world is how you are creating it. If we have the idea that someone else is in control of my world, and therefore I have to be kind of outraged about it. I have to kind of really speak my mind about it. I have to um, make it known. This is wrong. This is not good. The more I do that, the more I create the exact kind of world that I am fighting, the world that I don't want. Now, I'm always studying. I'm always learning. Every day I immerse myself in learning more. Except for days, there may be something that I might be working on something where that I'm too busy to stop and do much learning. But on the average, I even then learn what I can. Learning has become I don't know, is it an obsession maybe? But I learned something today. And I had never looked at it that way. I have learned much in the past about our mind, about our thinking, and about those kind of things. But the word gratitude sort of took on a new meaning in my vocabulary today, because of the various things that are going on. And it was, I am grateful. I am grateful to gain a deeper understanding as to what gratitude really means. Because the more I understand, the more I am in awe at the relationship that we have, the personal relationship that we have with nature. Over the years, we know from at least for myself, from ever since I can remember, the most important thing in life seemed to be church. Uh, the church ruled everything that you were allowed to do, that you were allowed to do at home. It was all controlled by the church. Whether you were able to, allowed to have a bike, a bicycle, or a musical instrument, or anything. Uh, I remember my dad when I was a kid. I don't know, I might have been 4 years old, five maybe. No, actually, I think I may have been six, because I think it was the same year that I started school. And well, he got a generator to power his shop, and of course he had I don't know, maybe two bulbs that he got for light in the shop. And I mean, that light was so incredibly bright, because you see, we were used to just kerosene lamps in the house. All right. And here he could work late in his shop, and have the light of bulbs, and this was just incredibly bright. Like, I mean, the door, um, well, we lived in a ice, really secluded, is that what you call it? Like, away from, uh, you know, when it was dark, it was really, really dark. There was no town anywhere nearby. So when it was dark, it was like totally pitch dark. Okay. And here, when he had his shop and had the lights on, the light just it shone out the door for a long ways. There was no actual door he could close on the shop. It was just an open doorway kind of thing, right? And well, that was that was kind of strange, to have that much light. That was almost where I think that was pretty close to being illegal, from the standards of the church. Of course, anything that would make it too, that would really improve making things a lot easier, um, would, of course, be quite questionable as to whether it was right or not. Okay. Now, what does anything of that have to do with gratitude? Well, see, here's the thing. Nature, all of nature, is a response to the way you think or feel about nature. Now, if you make all of kinds of things illegal, this is wrong and that's wrong and the other thing is wrong and that is wrong, what you are doing by that is you are impoverishing yourself, because nature listens to what you are saying. Nature listens to you. There is tremendous power in words. Words have far more power than what we often give them credit for, because the words that you speak, they become part of the nature around you. Nature, by its very nature, is loving. Nature, by its very nature, responds to thoughts of love and gratitude. If a person loves, truly loves nature, the globe, the world, all of the physical things which are matter. You see, all the physical and the invisible They are all the same thing, but the physical comes from the invisible. The words that you speak, they become physical things. It's rare that they will become physical things right in front of you, but they do. They do, because nature is a response to what you think and speak. The thoughts that you think are powerful, but when you put them in words, you have amplified their power. Sound waves are very powerful, but positive sound waves are thousands of times more powerful than negative. So, what's my point in all this? My point is this, that there are people that are in, that they think that they have ultimate control of what goes on in the world and how the world operates and stuff like that. They actually don't. They actually don't, because here's the truth. Because nature responds to love thousands of times more than it does to the negative and the what they want to do with it. Okay, what am I saying by that? All right, so here's the scenario. Here's what's going on. When there are people are whose only agenda it is to use the elements of the world as a cold-hearted nature, like a robot, fake kind of life, or it isn't even life. It's uh, what's it called now? It's called artificial intelligence. There is no life to an artificial intelligence. You see, uh, I have, I have sometimes thought, well, man, if there is, if all of these robots all of a sudden come out of nowhere, and just, try to destroy humanity, think about it. None of those robots are able to think. None of those have any response to nature. Okay? There is no response. We as humans, on the other hand, we have the response to nature itself. Now, the only thing that we have to do is make that a positive response. And that, what I'm saying by that is that we train our subconscious mind to be naturally grateful, that we naturally train ourselves to be grateful, that we are grateful for all the things that we want to accomplish and haven't yet, but we are already grateful that they already exist. And also that we are grateful to the nature and to the response of it for our good. The reality of nature is towards life, towards love. You know, there's a verse in the Bible that comes to me, that I'm going to mention again, and I think I've mentioned it before, that it says it, like, it's in the book of John, and I think it's in the first chapter. I can't remember right now in which chapter, but I think it's in chapter 1. It says that love is first pure. Love is first pure. When it enters your consciousness, it is only energy. You then make it whatever it is that you want. Now, if we train ourselves properly, then we will be able to see the some. I have heard it said like this, that there is a silver lining in every catastrophe or something like that, right? Every time, every time something does not go right in our life, if you train your mind to see it, you will always see that there is no such thing as as a negative thing in your life, because it's always for your good. Always. Always. Now, if we can remember that everything that happens in our life is always for our good. Now, sometimes maybe the best thing we can take away from it is a wonderful lesson. That I think that has happened in my life quite often, which I used to never see. But there's always something good. And if we are grateful for that good that is in it, amazing things will happen in our life. We will accomplish amazing things by having that gratitude. All right. So that brings me to a point where I have to say that I am very grateful for TBC. TBC is only a tool. It is only a tool. It is artificial intelligence, really, but it is a tool that we can use. But let's not mistake it uh, to be anything more than that. But it is a wonderful tool that we can use to help so many people. And here's the thing that I would like to put along with that. Let's spread the wealth of TBC to the world. But what's more important is that we spread the wealth of the truth about nature, the truth about creation. You see, I used to be a very religious person. You know, back when I was a kid and growing up in the church where we were, that to me wasn't religion at all. I really um, I actually I I resented not being allowed to have a lot of the things that I would have enjoyed having. You know, but later on, as I in my early 20s or maybe late 20s or something like that, I began to really appreciate a church that I was going to. I thought this is the only right church under heaven kind of thing, and I was a very religious person. But the thing is this: if we do not question our inner self, if we do not question why do we believe what we believe, and how does it harmonize with nature, how does it harmonize with like how does it harmonize with true feelings of love and harmony with other people, with you know how do I relate to the world around my religion that I have. Okay, I don't know how I can make it much more clearer, but what I'm saying is the fact that that all of nature is harmony. Everything is harmony, and it's all love. That is nature on its in its very nature, by the all of matter, and also all of the space and all that exists. If we are filled with gratitude and love for that, it will respond accordingly. It responds accordingly. And you will have wonderful, wonderful relationship with all of that nature has. But if your religion, if you are so full of your religion that uh, you cannot be in harmony with the creator and the creation all at the same time, then my question is, how important is your religion to you? What good does your religion do? Let me ask you this. Your religion, what does your religion help you? What kind of a relationship do you establish with your children in regards to your religion? Okay. You see, when I grew up, the relationship was that I was the bad kid, and I had this big father who I had to fear, in order to not be in some serious trouble. Um, is that a relationship? It took me many years. Took me many years to break that down. It took me many years to lose that barrier and actually connect with my children. That was the only thing I knew. And fortunately, fortunately, I have finally come to a point where I can do that, where I can actually, have a working relationship, a relationship where we actually enjoy, you know, uh, each other's company. And it's wonderful. And that is, nature is meant to be like that. And I used to be really jealous when I saw a father and a son. They were getting along great. They could just so easily talk, and just, it seemed like they were friends. It's something I had never known. Something I had never known. And I was jealous about that. But you see, that's what I mean, where gratitude has so much power. When we begin to understand all of this and we have that gratitude, everything outside of us changes according to how we are inside. It all changes. Now, I know that many people, they are very, very much wealth, just wealth and success. What about nature? What about being in harmony with that which there is abundance of? Do we need more wealth than to truly be happy and have happiness and be in harmony with nature? Is there such a drive to be on some kind of a pedestal because of our accomplishments, or what is it? What is it? Do we need to compete? Seriously, do we need to compete? Is there joy in that? Is, like, I don't know, maybe I don't understand that. To me, it's like, let's truly enjoy everything that nature has for us, because it has an abundance of everything we want and everything we need. And we know that many people are in lack. Many people are in serious lack. And it's because of their understanding. TBC can give them something, but as it's often been said, give a man a fish, he can eat. Teach him how to fish. Give a man a fish, he can eat a meal. Teach him how to fish, he can eat for life. If we give TBC to people, let's send the package of training along. Let's teach them how to love, how to interact with nature. All right. So those of you who are watching this video and are not in TBC, I invite you to come and see what TBC is really about. Now, I know we have TBC has very much training, very much training in it. And I think it's good if we are aware of what is going on in the world, which I was very little aware of before I became a member of the TBC community. I never knew much about central banks. I never understood the monetary system or any of that kind of stuff, which I have now learned a tremendous amount about, which I am grateful for. However, let us not be hung up about all the things that are wrong in the world, because if we feed our minds on that and are hung up on that, then we are actually creating more of that in our own life. And as I mentioned, nature corresponds to that which we think about and which we feed our mind with. So let's feed it with gratitude and wealth and harmony and all of the wonderful blessings of life. And that is what we will create more of. And here's another thing. The vibrations that go out from your body, from your attitude, the attitude that you have, that your body experiences from the thoughts that your mind dwells on, okay, that attitude sends out tremendously strong vibrations out into the universe, into your vortex, as it were. This is picked up by other people. Remember that positive thoughts and thoughts of gratitude and so on are thousands of times more powerful than negative. Imagine the influence that you can have on people around you without even saying anything, because they will pick up from that positive energy far more than their negative energy will impact you. Okay? So now, if you're watching this and are in TBC and you've been walking away from TBC, you left it alone because we were having trouble, the technical issues and so on, let me just assure you that we have built a brand new system from the ground up. Maybe you thought, well, we were just going to shut down like many programs do. Well, that is not what we did. We have built a brand new system. It is very fast, very robust, and is able to handle thousands of transactions per second. So let me invite you back in and release the wealth that you are sitting on, because it's very likely that you received 100,000 kringles. That is around $14,000 that has been given to you. And all you need to do is migrate to the new blockchain, the new wallet system, and you can unlock that and it'll be available to you to use. Okay? And I have links under this video that where you can find all the information. And of course, by all means, do contact me if you have any questions about what, about anything about TBC. Also, the free energy unit, you'll find a link about that. I encourage you, check that out too. myfree.energy. Okay, check it out and see. Maybe it's a project that you're gonna love being involved in. All right. So thank you so much, everybody, for watching. For being with me here, hanging out with me. Actually, I'm gonna go and see what everybody has been talking about here. All right, John. Thank you, Romeo. Thank you very much for hanging out with me. Joe Stevens as well. Thank you. Um, uh, and then Stephen Coffey. Thank you also for hanging out with me. Marjorie Harder. Thank you as well. And Crypto TBC, Pedro, thank you very much for being on. And Mahalko 88, thank you very much as well for hanging out with me. I noticed this morning you came on just as I was shutting down. Well, thank you very much for being with me. I appreciate it, everybody. Okay, so with that said, I hope that I have brought you some inspiration, something that you can take away and say, you know what, I appreciate that. So thank you very much, everybody, and have a good night. Peace.